on the Cambridge Ball State Cardinals Sports Network. From Learfield, welcome to the Varsity House BirdFeed on the Ball State Cambridge Network. Here is your host, Joel Godette.
It is another edition of the BirdFeed Live, back at it here on Facebook Live. If you're watching the replay of this across the state of Indiana on the ISC Sports Network, listening on the Chirpcast podcast feed, or watching us on YouTube, it is Mid-American Conference Tournament Week. My name is Joel Godette. Women's basketball coach Brady Sallee is here with us live if you're watching this. If you're watching the replay of this, after Coach Brady talks, we'll hear from Thelma Agustsdottir as well to break down her experience on the women's basketball team this year, over the last 4 years, on the year that's still to come, because she'll be back next season. We'll talk about eating reindeer, all that kind of stuff.
You're right. A little bit different.
A little bit different.
Yeah.
Different kind of cultural swing.
Yeah, I can't lend any expertise on eating reindeer. I'll just say that now.
No, but I feel like your children right now are going to be like, you murdered Santa's steer.
Well, I'm just going to leave that where it is.
Brady Sallee does join us. Let's talk about where you guys are at, because you go to Cleveland. You start on Wednesday. You're the 5 seed. You'll take on the 4 seed Northern Illinois at 1:30-ish from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Broadly speaking, how do you feel?
No, I feel great. It's funny. I've been, over the past week or so, since we've kind of known we were going and really didn't have to worry about that part of it a whole lot, you've had a time to kind of get your arms wrapped around where your team is and what do you think you need to do better, what do you think you need to play like going up there, and really I'm extremely comfortable with our group right now. I think we're good enough. I think we check all the boxes. I think you got to be able to go up there and score. But you're going to have to rely on your ability to defend, rebound, all those kind of things. I think where we have a chance to separate ourselves is our ball movement. I think in a short prep, a quick turnaround, being able to be on top of a defensive game plan against the way we can move the ball and play off the ball is going to hopefully be really difficult for some other teams. So I like this group. I think we're extremely balanced. But I think their heads are in the right place. I think they want to be up there. I think they believe that they can go and cut down those nets on Saturday. And, everybody out there is probably thinking, well, of course they do. That's what every team does. Oh, no, they don't.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of teams that the last place they wanted to be was up there, even some good teams. And it's got to be a collective want to. It can't just be 3 or 4 of your best players. It's got to be from top to bottom. And I think this year's group from top to bottom wants to go up there and stay for a while and have a chance to play in that championship game on Saturday.
You've been on some championship teams before. Mm-hmm. What does it take? What is that extra thing that separates the teams that have really great regular seasons from the ones that are able to go up there and win 3-3 or 4-4, whatever the conference tournament that year might be?
I think it's important when you get up there to understand how monumental every possession is. I think the teams that have been able to do that in the regular season set themselves up a little bit to be successful up there. I think you've got to have different ways to score the ball. You can't be a one-trick pony. You can't rely on one individual or one way the game needs to be played. I think you need to be versatile enough to go up there. But I also think at the same time, you kind of got to have that kid that says, this stage isn't too big for me. And so I think all of those things on the championship teams I've been involved with have been there. And then, you gotta, the ball's got to bounce your way a little bit. You're going to be in one of those games, so it's a fun time of the year. It's unpredictable time of the year, which I think makes it fun for everybody. But boy, I tell you what, if you allow distractions, you're going to come home quick. And so we've started talking about that already. And I think this group that we are taking up there is very, very interested in getting this right And now we understand we've got a really tough opponent in Northern, and we turn around with the winner of Toledo and Ohio. And, once you get up there and on the women's side of this league, all 8 of these teams are legit, and we know that. And this year, even the 9th team is legit, and we know that. You better just be able to be comfortable in your skin and go be who you are. And I think that's a powerful thing about my team, is that we believe that we're good enough. And so we don't have to go be different. We don't have to do something better. We just have to go be the best versions of us.
You mentioned some criteria, and it's interesting in terms of what you said those criteria were, and the last thing that came to your mind was an interesting one, because you said you got to have that one person who's just going to go do it. Mm-hmm. And if you guys are watching the replay of this and you hang around afterward, you'll hear the conversation with Thelma, where she says she thinks the strength for you guys is that you don't have the one person. Mm-hmm. But as a coach, do you feel like going into this tournament, you think, number one, it could be any one person as you go through the week, or, and you don't have to say who, in the back of your mind, are you thinking, like, I've got somebody who's just ready to go off and kind of throw us on their back here? Yeah,
when I say you've got to have that one person that the stage isn't too big for, it isn't necessarily going to be your leading scorer. It isn't necessarily going to be, that all-accolade kid. But the ball's got to be in somebody's hands that wants it, that can handle it, that can do all the things. You're going to have to go through some moments where you call a particular player's name. And, yeah, we are extremely balanced, and we don't care who takes the shot. But there's going to be that moment where I dictate who gets it and who takes it. You've got to have that kid, and we do. And so the good thing is, there's been times this year where I've gone with the hot hand at the end of a game, and there's been times where I've gone with the reliable hand. So I do think we can be either, but I still think you've got to have that, and you've got to have that that sense of calmness in those situations. That been there, done it. We know who's going to do what. We know how they're going to do it. Let's go get this done. And so I don't think every team up there has that. I just think we do.
And it turned out that last year the reliable hand for you guys also happened to be the hot hand. So hopefully she can continue to be the hot hand when you guys get to Cleveland again this year. Why do you think this could be the year for this team? Like, what is it about your team and the situation, when you look broadly speaking, that says, like 2022, pencil us in?
Well, I think we've been motivated the whole year. I think that's been really, really consistent with our group. I think the want to continue to get better and what we're playing for, all those things has been there. We dealt with a little mid-season adversity when Anna went down. It seemed like coming back from Christmas, the COVID stuff was, a player at a time, and kind of slowly trickled through our group. I think we've come out on the back end of all that stuff mentally prepared. And so that part of it has me really comfortable with this team. I guess my sense going up there with this group is, like, I'm not nervous about how someone's going to play. And I can't always say that's been the case. We've had years where I hope this person didn't try to be LeBron James and just do what we do. Then there's been other years where I'm like, we need this kid to play
LeBron James.
Yeah. I don't feel like that with this group. I think they have a lot of faith and trust in each other. I think they feel good about the way we're playing and how we do it. I think we've methodically gotten better defensively to the point where I think we're built to have a quick turnaround. And be able to learn a scout in a hotel room. So I think all those pieces have come together well. Like you look at our season, and you look at just in conference. You look at the 19 games we played, which, by the way, we wanted to play the 20th. That wasn't our decision. That was a green and white team's and a conference office's decision, just so we get that out there. But, in like every single game, like we've been in, we've given ourselves a chance to win. And really the only one was the very first conference game of the year. We kind of rolled over and Bowling Green put it on us pretty good. After that, every single game we played, we've had a chance down the stretch. So, you look at it, and for the first time in a long time, I wasn't looking at how the bracket could come out and go, oh, man, I hope we stay away from, man, I hope we get this match. It's like, okay, like whoever we play, we know it's going to be a good opponent, but we also know that either we beat them or we could have beat them or we should have beat them, and we know how. So that's the part of it that gives me a lot of confidence in this group. And I like this team a lot, and I think they have stayed invested and stayed committed to the process during the whole thing. And it's just mentally, I think we're where we need to be.
Most teams don't want to be down by almost 20 in any game. It's not
this one.
Not an ideal place to be. But the fact that you guys went on the road on Wednesday and trailed by 16, and then went on a 13-0 run to win it, and kind of did that at the right time of the year. Like, what did that happening do for you from several standpoints? Like, one, showing that the team that finished in I think last place can knock you off, so you always have to be ready.
Yeah.
But two, also showing that you have an ability to dig yourself out. Like, were there some good things that came out of what you guys had to do to win at Central on Wednesday?
Well, I'll go in reverse order to your question. I think we have looked the same in those moments all year long, to be honest with you. We have not – I've not seen us panic. I can think back to the Thanksgiving tournament down in Houston. We're playing a St. Joe's team that I don't think our kids thought was very good. To be honest with you, nothing against St. Joe's.
Just went to their semis.
Yeah. And I think we came out and we were lethargic, and they put it on us until about the last 4 minutes of the game, and then we started playing, and it was Katie bar the door. We were very calm through the whole game, and I don't like. This will shock a lot of people. I don't lose my mind in these situations a whole lot.
Stop it.
Yeah. I mean, you can ask the player. Like in the timeouts, it's been a rarity where I've lit into them, because I think we know what to do. It's steady Eddie. Let's just keep doing what we do. We know how to get stops when we need them. We talk way more about adjustments, and here's what we have to have happen, and those kind of things. And if I feel like it's a player, I can pull one out, put another one in, and they get the job done. So we've got a lot of faith in that, and you saw that in that game. Like, there's a lot of pressure on us in that game. There's no pressure on them. All of a sudden Molly Davis is back, comes in her cape and the whole thing, and Super Molly's back, and and then Tempe's back, and they got their whole roster for the first time in about 4 weeks, amazingly, against Ball State. Isn't that funny how that happens? So they're hitting every shot, and there's no panic. We just keep doing what we're doing. And then all of a sudden you see us make a little bit of an adjustment on a ball screen. We start locking them down, getting stops, playing discipline. And that's the other part of it. I think in those moments, if you get undisciplined, all of a sudden you're hacking people and you're getting desperate, well, it doesn't work out. All of a sudden you saw us get more disciplined. They had to make tougher shots. And then we rebounded the ball and went. And, so I think our kids have a lot of faith in each other, like I said earlier, which shows out on the court in those moments. And then, so this time of year, to be able to, with your conference tournament bid on the line, basically, right, be in that moment and not panic, that's a good sign. Yeah. Now, it's always great to learn those lessons after a win, and to answer your question about not overlooking and not like, okay, well, now if you overlook somebody, you're just stupid.
You're in the wrong place.
Yeah. I mean, you just need to get something checked. So there is none of that moving forward for sure. I think it's in conference play. I don't think it's ever overlooking. I think maybe over hoping, meaning you hope that they're going to play like their record says they're going to play, and when they don't, you're like, oh, geez, why can't they? Okay, and so I yeah, it'd be nice if everybody played to their record. It just wouldn't be any fun, So it's great. You love going on the road and winning. I think any road win in March is big, whether it's at Central Michigan or whether it's at UConn. It doesn't matter. I mean, a road win in March is big, and to be able to earn one is even bigger.
Gamble or XL Center?
Yeah, I think Gample's probably harder to play in if you're an opponent, but that team on the other end might make it hard no matter if it's Gamble or if it's an outdoor court in Muncie. Yeah.
Let's talk about venues. Speaking of which, you've been in this. I think you've been in. I don't want to make you seem old. You've been in this league, I believe, when this was a non-neutral site tournament, correct?
As an assistant, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, correct.
Well, now I take that back.
Yeah.
We did play in the Seagate Center in Toledo, which was a neutral site with 4,000 Toledo fans in it. But it wasn't that they had not. True. That was not their home site. So we did play in the Seagate on the women's side for a little bit. There was a year that we played like in some old I don't even. It wasn't even a gym in Cleveland. It was like a train station or something. I don't know what it was, but I don't think that the Cavaliers' place was available that year. They were doing renos or something. That was a little bit different, but
Northern Illinois Ball State is now on track 4.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
do you like the idea of, hey, you got both tournaments, they're in an NBA venue.
Love it.
Maybe if you win the whole league, you don't have that home court advantage, but different kind of vibe.
I think that to me, here's the simple way to answer. All right, look around, name all your big leagues. Go ahead. Just run right down them. Start at
Pac-12's in Vegas.
Right. Okay, neutral. Big arena.
The Big East is at Mohegan Sun.
Okay.
Which technically, I guess, is neutral.
Yeah.
The Big Ten is in Indy.
Right.
I don't know where the ACC is.
ACC was in Charlotte, Greensboro. Yeah.
Big 12.
Big 12. They play in Kansas City.
Yep. Good venue.
Yeah.
Who am I missing? SEC.
SEC. They played in Nashville at Bridgestone.
Okay.
Okay. So if it's good enough for them, it should be good enough for us. And so I think that's the way you do it. You see some playing in, some practice facility up in who knows where, maybe because you've got 1,000 people in there, it seems like a better atmosphere and all that kind of thing. But I think there should be a reward to go play in a conference tournament, and for us to be able to go play in an NBA venue, I think it's an awesome deal. It's always an awesome trip. And again, in women's basketball in our league, I've said this and I keep trumpeting this, like we're one of the best leagues in the country. Not one of the best mids. We're one of the best leagues in the country in women's basketball. Our tournament deserves to be on a neutral site where every team can come in, and whether their fans choose to travel or not is up to those fans. But I think that's the way to do it, and I think it best mimics the NCAA tournament. Although there are still home sites, I think those are going to go away. But I just think it's the best atmosphere for a conference tournament. You think about it. Even if let's say we won it and we're hosting, how excited are our kids? They're excited that they're hosting and the whole thing, but it's just okay. We're playing at home again,
right?
So I think there's something really neat. I always love walking freshmen. I walk behind those new kids into Rocket Mortgage, and I see LeBron on the wall here, and all the greats that have come through.
The Duckling Walk from 2014.
Yeah.
Or maybe the year before in Brandy Woody.
Yeah.
They walked all the freshmen around
That's
the arena.
Right. Yeah. So I think there's something special to running out there and knowing, you're playing under the same lights as those guys. It's a special weekend, and I love that our tournament plays us and the men at the same time. I think we could stand on our own 2 feet. I don't think that's the issue. I just think for our league, it just makes it a special weekend all in all. And I think when, like, in our case where both us and the men are up there, it gives the fans a little bit more reason to travel and go check out both teams, which I hope they do.
And it makes it an event. Anytime you've
Absolutely.
got 2 tournaments in the same place, double the people, double the fun, makes it a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Brady, looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it's I am too. And like I said, I hope I don't see anybody back here in Muncie until early Sunday morning.
Sounds good, sir.
All right, thanks, Joel.
Brady Sallee joining us here on the BirdFeed Live. If you're watching this live, that's it. Thank you. But if you're watching the replay of this, stick around after this timeout. We'll hear from Thelma Agustsdottir about what her season has been like and her expectations heading into the Mid-American Conference Tournament.
While new vehicles may be harder to come by recently, Stoops Automotive has stocked their inventory with plenty of new-to-you vehicles to help you find the perfect ride. Cars, trucks, SUVs, all quality pre-owned at drive-home prices. And Stoops Automotive has an amazing staff to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Stoops Automotive, East Central Indiana's used car headquarters for over 30 years.
Visit them today on West Clare Lane in Muncie or at stoopsauto.com.
Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
See dealer for details.
Back on this week's edition of the BirdFeed Live, we're talking now with Cardinals junior, technically senior.
Technically, yeah.
What is anybody at this point?
Right. Don't ask me. I'm very confused at this point, so...
She'll be back next year.
Yeah,
we know that much.
yeah,
She has
yeah.
1 year of eligibility remaining. Thelma Agustsdottir joins us. First off, it is conference tournament week. Mm-hmm. How exciting is that for you guys?
Very exciting. Feels like, definitely been waiting for this all year. And yeah, we're ready to go. We're playing really good, so yeah.
Why do you feel that way? What's clicking for you guys?
I feel like our defense is finally coming together. Like, it's easy for us to make adjustment. We're guarding people's stuff really well, and on the other end, we're sharing the ball really well and just playing well together. And it's really fun. So
everybody always says that this time of year you want to be playing your best basketball. How did Saturday, and even to that extent, like being down almost 20 Wednesday and having to come back and to go on a 13-0 run? How did that fuel that sense of like, yeah, we're playing the way we want to be playing right now?
Well, starting off with Wednesday, it was definitely I would say kind of like hit us hard the run that they went on in the beginning. But we always talk about never going on like a roller coaster and just keep going, and that's what we did. So we came out with the win, which was really good to have that at least in our pocket going into Cleveland. And on Saturday, it was just I feel like we came ready, especially because it was Blake's day, and so we were ready. We were ready. Wanted to do it, leave it all out on the floor for her.
What is it about Blake? You guys, you rallied around her a lot. I said on the air that was the loudest I've ever heard the arena. Really on her first bucket, but then she hit the 3. What is it about her personality that is so important and infectious to this team?
She's just such a unique person. I'm sure I'll never meet anyone like Blake Smith ever again in my life. Just the way like how she makes everyone feel so good, makes everyone laugh. It's incredible.
What did you think when she finally got the 3? Because I think that was her 3rd one. So like you're waiting, and then that last one goes in. You thought what?
Well, we had seen her. She'd been like pretty open on the previous plays, so everyone was like, "Just give her the ball." And so yeah, she's been making them in practice actually a few times. So we knew she had it in her. So seeing it go in, it went crazy. So it was incredible. It was insane.
What's the chemistry of this team? Like, you guys seem like you get along really well. Every team says that. Why is it right for you guys?
It's hard to pinpoint. I feel like it's just we're all like such good friends, so that when we get on the court, it's like we're just happy for each other. No matter who's making the play, we just all wanna win. No matter who's making the shots or being the star of the show.
Which has been a really important point for you guys because your roommate goes down at this point like a month and a half ago. Mm-hmm. I feel like you guys have. Sometimes when you lose your best player, it's devastating. Other times it makes you better in some ways, not as a knock to Anna, but like it makes everybody raise their game to a different level and dig down deeper and try to find something that maybe they didn't even know was there. That seems like that's been the case for you guys. Like everyone has dug down and said like, all right, how am I going to contribute? What's that process been like for you guys of pulling that little bit of extra out of each person to push you guys to be could have been the 4 seed going into this tournament?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely hard seeing her go down like that, and we knew it wasn't just going to be a single person effort to like make up for all the things that she did on the court. So everyone just needed to step up, and we all just want to do it for her because she's such a big part of the team, and yeah.
What's your you've been in a conference tournament before, you've been to Cleveland before. What is your vibe like when you walk into that gym? What does it make you feel?
I mean, it's pretty cool that it's like an NBA team's arena, big arena. It's fun to play in there. Last year, obviously not a lot of people because of the COVID restrictions, and I think the year before that too, just because that's when it was all starting. But,
Played one game, yeah.
yeah, and so I'm excited to see how it's going to be this year. I hope there will be a lot more people, and the crowd will get going.
I feel like you played well last year in that game.
Yeah, I had a few threes.
Just a couple. What's it like shooting in there?
I felt good shooting in there, especially last year. So I feel like if we can get into rhythm and move the ball, we should have a good game.
Big LeBron fan?
I used to not be. I used to be kind of a hater, but as like I've grown up and watching him play more, it's just like you gotta love the way he plays and like how he's done it all these years.
Kind of a cool thing to be on that court then?
Definitely, yeah. And I can't remember. I was seeing something from like an All-Star game, like way back, or this one. I can't even remember. And it was that same hallway where we like warm up, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool.
No, I thought the same thought. 'Cause
yeah.
There were a couple of shots of people coming in off of like out of the parking lot or off of the buses, and it's the same security gate that we walked through in Cleveland. I'm like, oh my God, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat little vibe.
Yeah,
to it.
it's really cool.
Tell me a little bit about your development to this point, because I feel like this is the most integral role you've played on a team since you've been here. It's the most loud you've been since you've been here.
Yeah.
How have you come into your own here in 2022?
I think just being comfortable both in my role on the floor and off the floor. Like you said, not really much of a vocal leader since I've been here, but I try to lead by example, and it definitely helps that we're such good friends and close friends off the floor, so it makes it easier.
How'd you find your voice?
Again, I think just being comfortable and also just having the experience, knowing what Coach Brady wants, and like just relaying that out to the team, especially the young girls who haven't been here for as long as I have.
Does it take a little bit? Like people that don't talk a lot sometimes don't want to talk a lot sometimes. Like what other than the comfort level, what brought it out of you to say like, no, I'm gonna be someone that's gonna exercise my voice a bit?
I feel like it just comes with your experience. Like it's expected of you to be more vocal and be like, I guess, set an example for the people that are coming in, as they will do in later years. So yeah.
Have you noticed a change in yourself that way? Like, do you feel like you carry yourself differently now?
Yeah, definitely. From freshman year to now, I feel like it's a completely different person.
How's that feel?
It feels great. I think it's definitely a change for the better.
Did it take a hot second to get used to that?
Yeah, it did. I don't have much else to say about that.
Is it like I mean, some people. You're going out of your comfort zone. You're trying, like, did it take a while for you to feel comfortable? I mean, like, I feel like even for something like this, like, I remember we had you on the radio your freshman year.
Yeah.
And it was like, so.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
What's the process like for you to become just comfortable in your own skin and grow into to being an adult and being a leader and all of that?
Yeah, and it also, like you say, it comes with growing up and being older. Yeah, definitely comes with that, and yeah, there's also, of course, days where I like don't really feel like talking, but you just have to get through it, and yeah.
You've been away from home now for 4 years.
Yeah.
How long did it take to get used to not being in Iceland?
I feel like, because I traveled kind of a lot with the national team, so it wasn't like, I can't remember ever feeling like insanely homesick where I was like bawling my ass out on the floor. And especially with the technology, it's easy to, like, I talk to my parents probably every single day, and so it's easy to get through it that way, and yeah.
So it's like 1 o'clock, I think, as we're recording this. What time is it at home?
6 p.m.
Oh, so it's not so like you can make a reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can usually call him. It's just like maybe after 5, 6. It's a little difficult.
Have you done it by accident?
Not that I can remember. No, I don't think I have.
What do you miss most about home?
I think there's like days where I call my family and they're like, yeah, we're going to your grandparents' house for like fried fish. I don't know if you have that here. And
We
my
do fry fish here.
yeah, but it's like kind of a different vibe to it. It's not like crunchy. It's a little different, but my grandpa makes it and it's really good. So yeah, kind of miss that sometimes. And yeah, just like I guess food in general. Like just randomly it will come up. Like I hear someone's going somewhere to get like a special ice cream or like licorice or something, and I'll be like, dang.
All right, so 2 questions. What is the special ice cream?
The special ice cream, I would say, it's kind of like a Dairy Queen Blizzard, but you can add, like, they have a lot more options to put in it.
Okay, so I was expecting like some like outlandish flavor.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know where we were going to go there.
Yeah, because I hadn't really heard of the Dairy Queen Blizzard, so I didn't really think that you had that kind of thing here. But it's pretty similar, but it's better at home.
Second thing was going to be, because I remember, I think at your freshman year, we asked what your favorite food was, and you said one of the things you missed was reindeer. That doesn't seem normal over here.
No, I agree. And
do you miss reindeer?
I do miss reindeer. It's really good. It's my favorite food still to this day.
What does it taste like?
It's just red meat. It's like steak, but it's just so much like softer and yeah, I don't know how to explain it better.
What's the thing that you that surprised you most about being over here that you didn't necessarily expect? Or is there something that's like our reindeer? Like, is there something that we eat that you're like, I didn't see that coming?
I think the pickles. Not a big pickle fan.
That's just because of who your roommate is.
Probably, but I feel like everywhere you go, it's like, you want pickles with that? Or there's pickles on, I feel like, everything, and I have to be like, no pickles for everything that I try and get. But
if you've never caught it on any content we've done, Thelma's roommate, Anna Clefane, eats jars of pickles as a snack. So, side note to all of that. But,
yeah.
What else maybe surprised you about coming to the States?
I don't know. I would maybe think the weather. I was kind of like, I didn't think it would be like as cold as it did. Because my freshman year got like I think we had like, there wasn't school or anything because it was so cold.
You're from Iceland.
I know. That's what's so crazy about it. I feel like it hadn't really gotten that cold in Iceland since I've been here. But it's just like temperature-wise. But it's just the storm and the wind back home makes it feel cooler.
Fair.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
So Iceland's always been a bucket list thing for me.
Yeah.
If I were to go on vacation in Iceland, where do I have to go?
First stop, Blue Lagoon. That's like 15 minutes from my house. It's so pretty.
Which, by the way, I thought was the craziest thing during COVID because you guys all did like the Instagram takeovers, and Thelma walks outside of her house and is like, "So here's the Blue Lagoon," and I was like, "Okay,
yeah,
that's normal."
And the volcano that we had like this past year, that's like across the road from there, so also really close to my house. And then on the like kind of south coast, that's a pretty popular, I guess, tourist spots with like waterfalls. I don't know what you call it, like valleys or something like that, but it's a really pretty place.
Is it do you need a car?
Yes, definitely.
Snow tires?
Not in the summer. But
I was
if you
gonna say,
go
is there a
in the
time to
winter.
go? Like, is that a summer kind of trip?
If you're trying to like travel and see places, but like in the winter, you could see the northern lights, which is pretty.
Can you not do the northern lights in the? Is that like a fall thing?
It's
Can
like
you fall into winter?
I think the northern lights are more like winter because it's so dark like most of the day.
So you kind of got to go twice. Like you got to go to experience it in the summer and go to experience it in the winter.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
That's fair. I mean,
but it's expensive, so you gotta be ready for that.
There's worse places to go though.
I guess.
So.
Yeah.
Fair. Let's bring it back here to wrap things up. You guys go to Cleveland this week. You will win the MAC championship because blank. Fill it in for me.
Because we're just such a good team. Like looking at the other teams that are up there, they all have like this one player that is averaging maybe like 20 points or something. And so if that player has an off night, it'll be like so much more tough for them than like compared to us, because we have so many people that can score the ball. It doesn't really matter if one of us has an off night. The other people will just pick them up.
What will it feel like? Can you imagine, put yourself in those shoes, Saturday afternoon, confetti raining down? What emotions will you have if you guys can win?
I don't know. Just I think proud of what we be able to accomplish. And like I was watching the tournaments yesterday, and cutting down the nets and all that. Like that's not a thing in Iceland. So I was watching. I was like, if that happens to us, I don't know. Like I don't know what to do. Like I need help.
What do you mean that's not? What do you guys do if you're in the Domino League, you win the championship? What do you do?
You get the like medal, do the trophy thing, whatever. You like take a lap around the court, and then go into the shower, like shower with the uniform and all that on.
No net cutting down.
No.
All right. Well, first time for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Thelma, looking forward to it. It'll be Wednesday that the Cardinals tip off that MAC tournament. That comes your way at, I think, 1:30. There's the only official scheduled start time is the first game of the day, which is at 11. So try to kind of backtrack from there and do the math. But a 1:30-ish start time. It'll be Ball State and Northern Illinois in that 4-5 matchup. We'll have complete coverage of that on ballstatesports.com. And we'll see you back here next week on the BirdFeed Live.
This was the Varsity House Bird Feed on the Ball State Gamebridge Network.